serious issue.
So I've had an issue where it's the message along the thing says systems are still powering up, please wait or something like that.
That's normal.
Yeah, but you can still drive the car, except the fact that this thing is not working and not responsive.
the CD or
The center console
screen.
Right. Yeah, but even though that message is there, I was still able to put in your drive and I was still able to drive the car, but everything was frozen.
Does it say systems are powering up?
Yeah.
You probably have it in deep sleep, where you don't have it keep awake or something. Are you having it in range mode or?
No, I'm not ready.
You get a little tick where it says keep awake.
They don't have it in range mode, that's for sure. No, never went to range mode.
Try doing keep in the connectivity. Keeping it always connected and see if that helps. I mean, if you're at home and plugged in, there's no reason to take that off. Because otherwise, I mean, there's a lot less vampire drainage overnight if you have that unchecked. But if you're already plugged in, I wouldn't worry about it. It's a giant battery.
But what if a lot of us never see that message?
Well, because most of us have the little keep connected box checked because we want to have our apps monitor our cars all the time.
Well, if your car's here, so we can always go look at it later to see what the settings are.
Well, it only lasted for a few minutes, because then I held the two buttons in to reset the main console, and then it was back.
But it only did it one time.
Yeah, this person.
Yeah, I thought it was every time you got it.
Oh, no.
If anybody has a classic or a non-LTE Model S, get the LTE upgrade. It's definitely worth it. It's like $550. That's with tax and everything. So they made it a fixed cost.
How do you tell which is which? What are the years?
So
You
what
can look on
it
the little
will
screen.
say
Yeah.
up on the upper right
the
corner, it will
LTE.
say
I
either
missed it.
3G or
Okay.
LTE.
The
So-
LTE upgrade is really worth it?
Yes.
So this car needs to be upgraded, and you can see the 3G.
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
back.
okay, I
This car
got it.
needs to be
Yeah.
upgraded. So if you want to see what the 3G looks like,
Yeah, I get it. I missed it.
So after I got the LTE upgrade, I had my Slacker streaming, I had the navigation with the satellite image and everything that you could be downloading at once.
Yeah, we did.
And I drove from the service center to my house, and there was no lag, no tiling of stuff. So it's nice.
You're getting some other new parts too.
Oh yeah.
Is it still AT&T, LTE? You pay $500 for the upgrade, but then you still have the extra. You just have to pay from there on out.
No,
There's no
Monthly?
fees. There's no monthly
no,
fees.
it's
Okay,
still
so it's
covered
still-
under the original.
It's still under the original one.
January
And it's still
2018
AT&T?
is supposed to be the day that we might start having to pay for service.
Yeah.
So all of Tesla's boards are GSM, so they're either going to be AT&T or T-Mobile
yeah.
in the United States.
I haven't seen T-Mobile ones.
Yeah, and apparently our Euro friends are having issues with LTE. Yeah, they're, let's just say Tesla's going through a LTE provider in Spain, and the German guys are really, really mad about it. And I found this out by meeting a couple of Tesla owners at DEF CON. DEF CON's a cybersecurity conference, first week of August in Las Vegas.
Don't use A-Teams while you're there.
Actually, better idea is just turn your cell phone off.
Yeah.
Turn your laptop off. iPad off.
Yeah. Not
When he
even,
was
not
there, he
even
said you can
airplane
reach
mode.
me by ham radio.
Exactly.
He had his radio with him. Barbara.
Okay, we are driving the Tesla to California in a couple of weeks. And I want a tour in Fremont. Does anybody know anybody there?
So email
How do I do that?
factorytours@teslamotors.com.
It'll happen, or?
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got a car.
How soon are you going?
Give me your
2 weeks.
email, I can send you, because I've
It
been
may or may not
in
happen in
contact.
2
I've had voicemails and emails back and forth with the guy.
And if you want somebody to actually give you an intro, talk to Lauren at the service center. She'll send you the intro.
Okay.
Always get the little 3D printed car. Always.
Exactly.
Always what?
Yeah,
Get what?
they have a 3D printed Model S. I mean, they might have an X now. I don't know, but it's
Oh, get that when you're there, you're saying.
Is it injection molded?
Yeah, it's injection
I've
molded.
got like a maroon one. It looks like it's 3D printed.
It's injection molded.
Okay. But yeah, if you go to the place where they do the,
I got the same one at the beta reveal event.
that's cool.
All right, then.
Let us know how it goes.
I'm excited,
Yeah.
Hoping to meet Elon.
He's always there. He puts,
If he isn't there, we're going to space that.
he puts the lug nuts on the wheels.
I thought about it. No, I think.
He's actually not around anymore. That's just a hologram that you see when you
There you go.
It's like big text, welcome.
Yeah, there you go.
So they do have supercharging going all the way out there, so you should be fine.
Yeah, look, I saw the map. It's like ridiculously close. to
Probably
the
waiting
charging.
lines in California.
Oh yeah.
Just don't go to Fountain Valley.
That's the question I have about the supercharger. When the 3 comes out, even if they're going to double it, isn't that,
Yeah.
what's the likelihood of, I mean, I don't know,
Well,
the capacity is.
But I think, but see, superchargers, I mean, you only really use them when you're on trips,
Yeah.
so to speak. So, yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, so typically, it may not have as big an impact as you might think.
Until they start using Model 3s for Uber.
Yeah, well, yeah, then,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's true.
My take on that is Tesla will add more superchargers as they need to.
Yeah.
Just like they announced the
But
other night.
in Texas, aside from San Marcos, and when we decide to go to a supercharger, there's always spaces free. Except in San Marcos, which is a freaking disaster. Because people,
That's because of all the people from
Stay.
Austin.
they go, plug in, they stay all day, and they don't unplug their cars.
It's not just that, it's like when I was there, they only had 4 working. One of them was broke. One guy was a doctor from Austin that came down. There was another guy who was like, guys.
San Marcos is our Fountain Valley.
By the way,
Fountain Valley,
guys.
by the way, they have a valet.
By the way, guys, Stan here is North Texas Electric Auto Association.
Hi.
As
As am I.
as is Rick.
Hey.
And Steven. NCAA, we're very close with them, obviously. So, Barbara, since you're going, and Dick, since you're going on this trip to California,
Yes.
you need to know how to pick the fastest
Yes.
supercharger.
I don't
we
know
do.
that. I don't know that. So,
It's important.
We need a whiteboard.
that's a good thing.
So here's the trick, which you may or may not know. The secret is, if there are other cars there, look to see what the number letter combination is the supercharger that they're using. It'll say something like 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B. Avoid the other letter. So if they're at 1A, avoid 1B, if you can. So if they're at 1A, take 2A or B, or 3A or B, or 4A or B, and you'll not be sharing their charger. What happens is on the paired ones, the car that arrives first gets all the power it needs, and the one that arrives second on that pair gets whatever is left over. So if 2 empty cars arrive at the same time, the one that plugs in seconds before the other winds up getting everything, basically, until their charge starts to taper, at which point the second car starts to ramp up and then it swaps.
So this knowledge is important because it's not only for you, but for other drivers as well. When I was plugged into, I don't remember which one it was, but maybe just for example, 2A, and I was in Waco, and there was no other spots filled, and someone pulled in and plugged into 2B, and I was eating the random things at Concert Bakery, and it's all random stuff. But I was looking at my phone. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And the charging range was cut down pretty far. And so I looked out there, and I said, sure enough, it's like being this other person here. Nothing on the charger, so I moved my car. So not only are you going to get a lower charge, but you're going to penalize the other person as well. So it's just if all of them, if one is occupied from every supercharger, like if 1A, 2A, and 3A are used, that you just plug into one of the B ones, it's going to be expected. The other poor soul is going to know that you're. The other thing to see is if you have that situation where you have 1A, 2A, 3A, or 4A in some cases already taken, if you listen to hear which on the front of the car, which one has the quietest fans, that's the one that's probably way past its 50% mark, so its amperage is down. So you would be okay plugging into the B side of that one. So that's just the way it is. There's no meter on the dash like the Leafs and stuff have. But
And feel free to tell other people when they're charging.
Yes.
That fact. I was in Gilroy, California, and parked in 1B. 2, 3, 4 were taken. And these people wanted to pull into, or actually I think 2 was now open, wanted to pull in 1A, and I stopped them and said, go right here. And they pulled in here. It's like, is that one broken? And I'm like, no. Well, they're like, well, we're told 1A is always the fastest. It's like, no, it's not. You will get terrible if you plug in there, but if you plug in right here, right now, you're the only one on that pair, you'll get faster. He plugged it in, the guy's like, I've never seen it charge that fast, thank you. Type deal. But as long as you do it, when I pulled in that one, all the A's were taken, I took a B, but I sat there to see who was going to leave first.
And one of the other things to be aware of whenever you're going on long distance charge and you come across a supercharger that has nobody there, when you plug in, take a few seconds to wait for it to spin up full amperage for full voltage. If both of them are in around the high 200s to 300s mark, both the amps and the voltage, then you're getting full power. So there have been occasions where I've plugged into a completely empty supercharger, and I'm getting maybe 60% of the amperage, and that's probably because one or more of the chargers in the supercharger, and I'll talk about how this thing is set up in a second, but it's got reduced capacity. So you just move over to another number. Doesn't matter what the letter is. You move over to another number and see if that will kick up to full speed. So
you're going to do that also. Call them.
Yes. Also.
Let them know. Because it does nobody any good. You know, and nobody in California.
Yeah, a sticker does nothing.
I've called them probably 4 or 5 different locations.
I called them from Columbus one time. But so if anybody wants to know what's inside a supercharger, if you're familiar with the onboard charger that's in your car right now, whether you have one or two, it's a 10 kilowatt charger. It takes 240 volt or 208, whatever AC input, and it spits out 300 and something volts at whatever the amperage is for 10 kilowatts. You take 12 of those and stick them together, and that is a supercharger. So Tesla doesn't have to engineer some new great huge thing that spits out a whole bunch of amps and a whole bunch of watts. They just take the same thing they've been building for your car and stick 12 of them together. So it's a bank of 12. So if one or two of them are out, whether it's for thermal issues or whatnot, or they've had some power feedback that causes some fire, you'll still get some amperage from the rest of them, but it'll be reduced.
Is it also true that it's already DC?
It's AC going into the supercharger. It's usually like 480 volt, but it's split out into its phases.
It's 480 volt. I want to say it's 2,000 amps going into the superchargers.
Yeah, they're big cables. I've actually.
The cables are like that big.
Yes. Yeah, they're pretty big. The bus bars are giant pieces of copper. It's pretty impressive. I've seen some new ones being installed. I was the first to charge at Salina, Kansas. Yes. So I helped open Salina, Kansas. There was no ribbon cutting ceremony. But the first time, well, to get from there, it would take a day and a half because it would stop in Arkansas. But so the first time I plugged in, they said, okay, plug in. I plugged in, and it started spinning up, and there was a loud bang. They said, okay, unplug it.
That was a nice pyro line fuse blowing.
Yeah, it was a pop, but later,
It sounds about like a shotgun blast.
yeah, it was a little muffled, but it was fine.